Live.
What's up, lifers? Welcome back to 30 to Live. So we all watched the video on George Floyd, and I wanted to share some of my own personal feelings and thoughts on this video and the whole situation. I feel, man, what I saw in that video, and this is my opinion, but I feel that that officer committed murder. What people need to realize, these officers are trained. They're trained to subdue suspects. They're trained to do certain types of moves. They're trained to do certain types of chokeholds and use their weapons and all that stuff when you become a police officer. The one thing they learn about it in training also is that what these types of moves can do to another human being, to another person. They subdue them. They know that if I apply more pressure in this area, it's going to cut off their breath. If I, apply more pressure on this bone, I could possibly break it. So they know that, with their moves and their responses in any situation, they know what the outcome could possibly be. And I feel that this officer knew what he was doing was inflicting injury to this man. He should also know that what he's doing could also bring harm or possible death. So there shouldn't be no excuse for this officer. And the way I felt, man, that they're already trying to make excuses. It took long enough for them to finally arrest him. Then, I'm not too hip on the laws in their state, but when I saw third-degree murder, I felt that they were already trying to include the lesser charge on this officer so that maybe he can get off scot-free. And what I mean by that is, if I could be wrong, but if third-degree murder is anything like the California laws of manslaughter, then he could be possibly facing probation, a year county jail, or 4 years in state pen. To me, from what I looked into, it looks like as if it's a lesser charge. Matter of fact, just give me a minute, guys. Let me look up this real quick. So, third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter in Minnesota. According to Minnesota law, murder in the third degree is committed when there isn't, and that means is not, intent or premeditation. A typical use of third-degree murder charge would be used against a person who fired a gun into a crowd or drove through a crowded sidewalk. Whoever, without intent to effect the death of any person, causes the death of another by perpetrating an act imminently dangerous to others and evincing a depraved mind without regard for human life is guilty of murder in the third degree, Minnesota statute says. So, it's looking like that he can get maybe 12 years for that. So, again, I'm not too hip on the laws there, but I just feel like it's a lesser murder charge. You know what I'm saying? I think that if anything, this is a second-degree murder charge. And they have to decide on his intent, his mind frame, and all this bullshit when you go to court. But let me tell you this, man. The DA should show the jury the video over and over of what that officer was doing to that man. And they should also show his training and his background. If he has knowledge and forethought of what his fucking actions could do in that type of situation. Could it cause death? That's what they need to attack this as, because I honestly believe that this dude knew exactly what he was doing. He might not have intended on killing George, but he has the knowledge and the forethought to know that his actions, what he's doing in this moment, could possibly bring serious injury and possible death. Also, what I noticed about that officer in this video, and this part is just my opinion, but when, dealing with officers, I've seen that look before. And he had that look of, I want to, enforce my power over everyone around me. If you just look at the video, you can see it when people were telling him, hey man, He can't breathe. Please check his pulse, whatever. They were trying to step closer. He pulled out his mace, his pepper spray, pointed at the crowd, back up. You know, he's that type of person that wants to show that his authority rules over you. And that's what I felt when he was kneeling on George's neck. You know, I'm better than you. My authority trumps you. You do what I say. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. So that's my opinion. I really truly think that this officer committed an act of murder. Now, what degree? I think it should be second degree murder, you know. But we shall see when they take him to court. They're already playing their okie dokes, you know, the law enforcement, always looking out for their officers. And it's sad. And I'm not saying that all officers are on that level, but, you know, you can see what's happening right now. You know, how long did it take for them to arrest him? You know what I'm saying? Let that be you or me committing a crime like that. Let's see how long it takes to arrest us for murder and charge us for the highest degree of murder. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, they're already catering to him by giving him a lesser degree for the jury to, you know, contemplate. They're also, you know what I'm saying, trying to paint George as an ex-convict. From what I understand, they're bringing up his past. And then another thing that they were doing was the autopsy, I guess, is now trying to claim that, you know, his death wasn't asphyxiation. So regardless if his death is asphyxiation or not, what was the cause of death and what triggered death? Come on, man. And that's what they're trying to do. So, you know, they're always trying to cater to their officers, trying to look out for them. But let that be you and me. And I'm telling you, we gonna get the highest extent of the law. And, you know, don't pass go straight to jail. Straight up, man. You know, that's just how it goes. So hopefully they do what they're supposed to do and convict this man and put him in prison for life. You know, maybe in 20, 30 years, he can go up in front of the board and see if he's rehabilitated or not. But this man needs to be punished for murder. Straight up. And he needs to be sent to prison. I think, honestly, you know, hopefully he would go to somewhere like California and do his time on the fucking general population on the main line. Real talk. But, you know, even in there, he'll be protected by the officers. It's just a sad fucking world on how this went down, man. It's just a sad situation. And, you know, you can't blame no one for being mad. Everyone has a right to be mad right now, you know. I'm not promoting that they should go out and, you know, burn shit down and loot stores or anything like that. That's not how I would get down. But I ain't mad at nobody that's doing it, because I understand that that's frustration being let out. It's like Martin Luther King said, man, rioting is the voice of the unheard. Straight up. So, you know, black folks have been put through a lot of shit. You know, I mean, everybody has, Latinos, anybody of color, but man, black folks, man, I'm telling you, man, we see it all the time. Them getting gunned down and beat down by police officers. And this shit needs to stop. This is some bullshit. Straight up bullshit. I think right now, though, man, we all should wait and see. Wait and see what happens with this officer, man. And hopefully the system does the right thing. But that's my thoughts on the whole thing, man. I think that George should be alive today, man. I think he should be here right now with his family, with his wife, and living his life. You know, those officers were called to a nonviolent fucking call. It was a call for fraud. Why is this man on the ground, handcuffed, with a knee in his neck? You know, being subdued in that way. This officer needs to go to prison for murder. Straight up. And rest in peace to George Floyd. And for the rest of y'all lifers, you know what it is. Stay the fuck out of trouble.